Hi guys, it's Joy, and I know you saw the title of the video because you clicked on this video. Today I want to dive a little more into Jeffree Star because apparently Jeffree Star is calling Trisha Paytas a liar. So let me also just say up front, and I know you guys have heard me say this, recently was the first time I ever sat through a whole Jeffree Star video. I knew who he was. I think I had seen clips here and there, but I had never actually sat through a video, just like I haven't seen. The only Taddy Westbrooks I've seen were the couple about James Charles and then Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Those were two. Otherwise, I've never seen those videos from I'm not on that side of YouTube. Like you guys can tell, I don't wear makeup. I love fashion and clothing, but makeup is just not my art. More power to you if it is yours. So this was the first video, and the reason that I watched it is because it looks like Jeffree Star is calling Trisha Paytas out and calling her a liar. Now, I was hoping when I watched this video that we were going to get some more information on the situation going on, and he literally said nothing. And then after looking back through a couple of his videos and whatnot, it seems like that's a theme. So it looks like what I've seen, there's this pattern that he will take whatever maybe drama or gossip is going on around him, he'll tease it in a video, in a title, in a description, but then it ends up being a nothing burger. I will say the video was fairly interesting. It was about, I guess he got some custom made shoe like device holder from Louis Vuitton, and it was nice. Like I'm not gonna lie, he looks like he's got a nice, very lavish lifestyle. Maybe that's an understatement. Again, I don't really know these people, and I really hope that doesn't sound like I'm dissing anybody because I promise that's not the case. This is just not my side of YouTube. But what was really interesting and I want to focus on was the title and the description of the video. And here's what it said. It says, I got canceled again. So I had a $200,000 shopping spree. It says, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Instead of talking about the millionth false rumor to hit the internet, I'm excited to unveil my custom one-of-a-kind pink Louis Vuitton monogram shoe trunk. Contrary to popular belief and slander, I don't money shame anyone, and we all know I've come from literally nothing. I created glitter from dirt and will always be grateful for how far I've come. So when I sarcastically asked, and then there's read more, so let's go into the read more. So it says, so when I sarcastically asked Louis Vuitton if they'd let me be their first customer to ever change the monogram color by request, I didn't expect them to respond. A few weeks went by and they said, yes! I was so shook. So I got to design and create some of my dream LV pieces in my very own Jeffree Star baby pink with white monogram. Truly a piece of fashion history. Now I want to break down exactly what was said here because there is some contradiction that I want to point out. So he says, instead of talking about the millionth false rumor to hit the internet, so I think that's his way of saying almost all the gossip you're hearing about me. And I'm assuming this might extend to Shane too, even though he doesn't say anything about Shane, is false. Because a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, you know, the conspiracy palette on his website's on sale and the friendship is ending. And I kind of didn't buy into that because I know how retail works. First of all, if it's on sale right now, it's probably because it's been on the market for a while, number one, right? Isn't it been on the market for like over a year? Number two, this is right after Christmas. A lot of stuff goes into the clearance bin. That's how retail works. Like the best sales you're going to get are some of the stuff before Christmas, depending, and then right after Christmas. And also there's Black Friday. So I don't know. I didn't really give that one too much credit, but I did think this was interesting because it looks like he's saying basically the majority of what's out there is false. So we don't obviously know that for sure, but that's what he is saying. And so then he talks about, and he says, contrary to popular belief and slander, I don't money shame anybody, and we all know I've come from literally nothing. Well, Trisha Paytas is the one screaming that he money shames, as well as we have a few other YouTubers saying that's the case, including hairbyjay, which I'll get into in a minute. He says, I created glitter from dirt and will always be grateful for how far I've come. So that to me says he's calling Trisha a liar. He's saying that is slander, and yeah, that, you know, contrary to popular belief and slander, I don't money shame anyone, which I do find kind of interesting, which we'll go into towards the end of this video because we kind of have some evidence for the contrary. And here's the thing though, maybe we're all just taking, and this is what I've seen, and this is kind of where I like to play devil's advocate. Some of the clips we've seen, which I'll show, is this really Jeffree money shaming, or is he just making some jokes. He's just making jokes. Might be in poor taste, but he might just be making jokes on people he thinks are trashy or people that he doesn't like. I'm not saying that makes it okay or anything. I just know as a society how sensitive we've gotten to humor, and some of that rightfully so. You know, there's some stuff where it was like, there was some real common humor about minorities that we look back now and it just makes you sick going, wow, how did we degrade people like that for so long? Fortunately, a lot of us just didn't know until social media came out and it gave rise to minority voices, which I'm grateful for. So there's some interesting stuff here, but I also want to go on to some of the other comments. So somebody wrote, money is really up his head. Goes to show he doesn't care about friendships. No wonder why he is losing friends. I do love and support Jeffree, but I just can't understand his actions towards his friends. Jeffree replies and says, you weren't there for any of the situations. I pray you never experience what I have. My real friends aren't on camera. This I find very interesting because he says my real friends aren't on camera. Does that mean he's saying Shane isn't a real friend? Because that's what people are saying. People have been trying to come up with this theory that Jeffree is dropping Shane. The big thing people want to do with Shane right now is put a target on him, and everybody is leaving him because he's just so awful. I thought Jeffree was the awful one and Shane was awful because it looks like he's siding with Jeffree even though he's being respectfully quiet. But when Jeffree leaves, we all cheer because Shane is the awful one? Like, I don't know, the narratives keep changing, and I just think it's, you know, we love to see somebody fall from grace, or fall off their pedestal. That's just unfortunately how we tend to be as human beings, which I don't like. So when he says my real friends aren't on camera, I don't know that that's a diss to Shane. What he might be saying is the majority of the people that I consider very close, you know, don't necessarily work with me. It doesn't mean all of them. I don't know, like we don't, you know, I just think that these statements are too broad and we don't have enough context for them to really say one way or the other. And who knows, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people have been like, this is evidence. And I'm like, I don't really think that's evidence. Now, I want to play a clip. This is a TikTok from Trisha Paytas recently regarding this situation. And this is where she pulls up the clip. She's, you know, she's talking about her experience with Jeffree, how he's lying, and she pulls up the clip. The clip is where it looks like he is money shaming. Let's look.
Okay, so in Jeffree's a new video where he just goes on a Louis Vuitton shopping spree, which is cool. He's like, I got canceled again. Once again, just that's his MO, that's his brand. I expect it from Jeffree. That's not even my issue. Like, Jeffree has like totally gone under my radar now. It's all about like how Shane and Ryland are actually two-faced and lying is coming. But in Jeffree's new description, he says that he was slandered because people say that he money shames, and he's saying he doesn't. He's considered that slanderous. Well, let's look at this clip from What Else But The Sip.
Monthly, yeah, it's expensive, but my mortgage is really low. Unlike a lot of YouTubers, actually put, you know, actually paid for my house. Yeah.
So you don't want to believe me or the other people, like, stories about it. Like, he says it in his own words, as if it's, like, so horrible to be renting a house. Like, a lot of people can't even afford a roof over their head. And the fact that they just, like, laugh and giggle about it is absolutely disgusting. So there's no slander there. It's from the horse's mouth himself. Next. To me, that's, like, the most disgusting, like, money shaming, like, during this time right now. Like,
now I'm going to say that little piece of evidence doesn't look very good, right? He's like, I own my house, unlike some other YouTubers, and kind of does a face. But I also think, again, I don't think we fully have enough context. What I will say is, it doesn't look good. I'm not going to sit here and act like it looks good. It doesn't. But I'm also somebody who doesn't like to jump to conclusions until we have more information and more context on something. And I'll have a video where we go a little bit deeper into this later. So make sure and stay tuned for the next video I have coming out, because I have found some evidence where maybe he was possibly money shaming people. I think sometimes Jeffree might come from a place of, number one, I think he can throw shade. You know, he can kind of throw those mean comments out sometimes, or comments because he's not real happy with somebody. And number two, I also wonder if it's from a business sense. From a business standpoint, if you are in the position, which most of us aren't, unfortunately, because of the state the world is in, but if you are in some type of position to own a home, that's the best thing to do. One of the best, you know, investments, one of the best businesses to get into is real estate. So he may be saying it from a real estate perspective and a business perspective, because I will say, being a YouTuber has made some money on this platform. It's amazing how many people who are on YouTube complain about not making money, don't learn how to maximize how to make money on this platform. They don't really do things it's like people don't understand your YouTube platform this is a small business. You're an independent contractor. You're a small business owner, but they don't have the business sense to grow it, and they don't want to do that. That's why in some ways, I know certain situations are a little bit different, but I kind of snicker a little bit when even back at my old self, when I first started YouTube and I didn't understand, where they say, oh, I can't make money on here. Oh, it's so hard, they don't pay. Well, if you don't learn how to maximize it, if you don't learn how it works, yeah, you might not make much. But you have to learn your business. You can't just go out there and say, I'm going to do this and then expect everything to work out. You have to, not only do you have to hustle, obviously, but you have to learn the business environment you're in, and it's constantly changing and adapting to that. So he may just be speaking in terms of he thinks it's kind of silly that so many YouTubers will rely just on ad revenue, not maximize it, and then not do good things with it. I've given a lot of criticism to Onision, talking about how broke he is. And I'm like, you've made millions over the years, and you're telling me you don't have an investment portfolio, you don't have stocks, you never put some of your money into like a trading account. Like you never did anything to fully grow your money to where you could just go broke. Like when you have money, as long as you cultivate it and take care of it, money can grow. And so I wonder if it comes from shade and sarcasm of that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that it's not mean. I'm just giving another perspective. All I'm saying is we don't fully know what that situation is. And I'm also not riding hard for Jeffree. I'm not a Jeffree Star fan. I'm not a fan of makeup. Like, I love these rumors that some people have, and you guys have seen the video, go check it out. People have insinuated that I'm on somebody's payroll. I'm like, I would be doing so much better in life if I was on somebody's payroll. I want them checks. But no, that's not the case. I just try to weigh things from common sense. And by the way, I'm not saying that he hasn't money shamed people. But I just watch my next video because I've got some interesting stuff in there because I just don't know, that's just one clip. Could have been taken out of context. He could have meant something else. We don't know. And unfortunately, I don't trust a bunch of YouTuber stories. I don't. Now, I understand kind of the hashtag believe all women. I know that's kind of a dicey topic for several reasons, but I understand it because we don't fully have a system set up to really deal with sexual harassment with the R word, RA word, and then a P there. We don't have a good enough system set up for that. So I can understand when it says, like minorities say, listen to us, listen to what's going on, right? It's not like you can report, somebody being the R word as a crime, racist as a crime and whatnot. But I will tell you, 9.5 times out of 10, all the YouTubers I've dealt with are liars, manipulators, cheats, and even if they aren't just horrible people, they will try to use you in some way. Almost everybody that you have ever seen me associate with on YouTube, best believe I have watched the shady behavior. That is why I have such a close circle. We're talking like maybe 2 or 3 people I even associate with on YouTube, and those were relationships that took years to build. So I'm just saying, when I hear a bunch of YouTubers come out and say X, Y, and Z, I'm not saying they're lying, but I will tell you right now, I'm saying I'm giving them a big, big eyebrow raised and some side eye because I just don't trust it. I've just seen too many people lie on this platform for attention, try to get something from you and stab you in the back. That's why you always hear alternative opinions. It's not because I'm saying so-and-so isn't the horrible monster people are making them out to be. I don't know. But I like to give the alternative because I know what it's like for people to look at you like that nonstop. No matter what you do, you can't win, no matter how hard you're trying to be a decent person. And people say, yeah, but you were a different case, Joy. You were the exception. I think there's a lot more exceptions you guys don't see because they get run off the internet and they go silent. And that's why I like to speak up about stuff like this. Now, the next thing that I think is a little bit interesting is, Jeffree Star had admitted, well, we thought he had admitted to doing all these things because he said he apologized to Trisha. And this was on Twitter. Boy has removed his apology. It is gone. Let's take a look at the apology, and then I'm going to go into what that could mean. So, Jeffree Star, Jafar Star. People were calling him Jafar, and it took me a minute to figure it out. And I was like, oh, Lion King. Oh, is it Jeffree? So I did think that was kind of clever, but I was like, I didn't understand it. It says, so somebody says, Jeffree Star, if you support what was said to Trisha Paytas from hairbyjay in that video, you are trash. I don't care what kind of money you have. That is mean girl behavior. You need to apologize and fire hairbyjay, which, to clarify, he did, or at least he said he fired hairbyjay in another tweet. He says, I have personally apologized to Trisha Paytas several times last year about Vegas, and she never responded, which is her right. I respect it, and what happened is between us. Don't drag me into new drama. Not interested. What someone else says does not represent me. I have a bit of a different take on this. I have a theory. Now, jeffreestar never fully said that what Trisha was saying was true. He did say he's apologized to her several times. Now, hairbyjay came out and he corroborated that, yes, we were making fun of you. Yes, this, yes, that. He was saying that to Trisha, right? He said that in both videos. However, he also said some of the things he said were just lies because he was angry. Well, which one was it, number one? Number two, Jeffree specifically says another person doesn't necessarily represent me, which I think is very interesting because let's be honest and let's look at it. What if hairbyjay was just saying things to hurt Trisha Paytas and they weren't real? What if, because here's the thing, Trisha has admitted, and I feel like I'm gonna get flack for this, and I'm trying to say this in all the sensitivity in the world, but Trisha Paytas admitted that she was on drugs and having issues with drug use when it came to the Vegas trip, and that was a big issue. Is it possible, Trisha, with her mental illness issues and her drug use issues, that maybe she misinterpreted or misunderstood some people's actions and perceived them differently? And then when hairbyjay thought his business was getting attacked, he did anything he could just to upset her. I'm not saying that's what happened, but if he already said certain things were dishonest, well, how can we believe everything else he said? So do we take hairbyjay's word when we caught him at least saying he wasn't being as truthful or honest, or his, that what he was doing wasn't coming from a place of truth or integrity? I don't know. Jeffree never outright said, yes, I money shamed you. And we have Trisha's word. And let's be honest, Trisha's word is not that stable and steady. And I have several videos I've done recently to show you guys that. So I'm not just gonna blindly trust Trisha on her word, especially knowing that she was having substance abuse issues at the time. Now, by the way, what hairbyjay said and did to her is disgusting. It's gross. I do wonder if she was as scared as she says. Because if you go check out my recent video about her and Moses, so go check it out. I have tons of stuff that I've been doing. She told Ethan that Moses has been stalking her and she had to get extra security because of it, and then made up some story about somebody showing up that has to do with Moses that had nothing to do with Moses. And a lot of what she sent to Ethan, like she said, your brother-in-law, Moses, is talking to minors, people who are 17 years or under 17 years old and flirting with them inappropriately, and it comes out, it was all lies. It was all lies. Is it possible that she took the hairbyjay thing? First of all, I've seen Trisha try to stir up drama for her own benefit to capitalize off of. I've watched her do it behind the scenes. I've talked about a video coming out, so be patient. I don't know when that will come out. I'm still kind of waiting for that, so just a heads up there. But I have personally watched her do this stuff behind the scenes with people, and I just wonder how much of what she said about I'm scared for my life is true after she did the same thing. She pulled the same card with Moses after she physically attacked him. I don't know. I question. So Jeffree deleting this, did he delete this because he realized popular narrative is I'm money shaming people and he doesn't think he does? And he was mad? Is he mad because he basically said people are lying and slandering me. That is a very passive aggressive way of not saying Trisha's name, but calling it out. And furthermore, Jeffree said he wants to stay out of internet drama, and thus far, he's been true to his word. I don't know. And here's the thing. I'm not sitting here defending Jeffree. I'm not necessarily pro-Jeffree, but I'm giving you a different perspective. What if Jeffree knows some of what Trisha is saying is lies, that hairbyjay went off on his own and created a bunch of lies, acting like he's speaking for Jeffree, and Jeffree's like, I'm not dealing with this. I don't know that happened. I wasn't there. But I know that we have seen so many instances of Trisha lying and lying about big things. Like a full-grown man is being inappropriate with minors. That's a big accusation to make, right? He's stalking me and I had to get more security, which is exactly what she said with hairbyjay. And then that turns out to be a lie. My question is, can we really trust Trisha And is Jeffree really the bad guy that people think he is because of what's happened with hairbyjay? Now, any of Jeffree's other scandals and this and that, I'm not touching on that. I'm only touching on this specific thing. I know Jeffree has said and done a lot of offensive stuff. If you're upset with him about that, more power to you. But just about this situation, I'm telling y'all, something just super doesn't smell right. She tried to say Moses stalked her and she had to get more security, and he's flirting and being inappropriate with minors when it wasn't real, when the reality was she physically attacked him. Like, I don't know. I'm just asking questions. And I'm curious what you guys think. Is there something I'm missing here? Let me know. Sound off in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Like the video. Also subscribe and hit that notification button so you can know when I upload. And comment. Tell me what you think. Am I off on this? And I'm open to being off. I'm tired of watching people get demonized when I don't feel like the facts and the credibility are completely there. Now, I will say, watch my next video because we have another possibility of Jeffree doing some money shaming. So I'm not sitting here saying he's innocent, but I'm saying there may be more to this than what we know. Because so far, Shane, Jeffree, Ryland have not spoken. Ryland on that podcast addressed it quickly, and he addressed it for a little bit, and then it was done. And of course, he got hammered because, in my opinion, Shane and Ryland, no matter what they do right now, they can't do anything right. And I think they know that, and that's why they know staying quiet is the best thing that they can do. And honestly, in my opinion, right now, more power to them. So let me know what you think and wait for the next video because I have some interesting stuff. Take care, blessings, guys. I'm wishing everybody lots of love, giving you guys hugs, mwah, and kisses, and I will see you soon. Bye.